In this short tutorial, we'll go through how to use EndNote for the first time. Now, as a university lecturer, I can always tell if my students are using referencing software such as EndNote or Mendeley. They have typically no referencing or citation errors at all. Also, students report that they have found creating their assessments way quicker by using citation software such as EndNote. Let's go across to EndNote. I've installed EndNote and opened it for the first time. Your university or similar will provide you with EndNote, and I've installed it on Windows using the default settings. What we do in EndNote is we add our references where we learned information. Then we can very easily insert it into Microsoft Word documents such as assignments and assessments and so on. And we can always go back into it in the future to see what, for example, what references we used and so on. To demonstrate, I'm going to load up some citations from Google Scholar. I've searched for the topic I'm interested in this case, the history of nursing. So let's say I've learned something I want to include in my assessment in this article from Nurse Education and Practice. I'll click Cite first of all to download an EndNote file so I can add this citation or reference to EndNote. I'll click EndNote and it'll download for me. I can add many more. EndNote can take thousands of citations. Let's say this BMc nursing is also something I want to use or store in EndNote. I'll click Cite and again EndNote. I'll go back to EndNote. So I still haven't added those citations to EndNote. I've downloaded the files, but I haven't added them. To add them, I'll go to my download folder, and these are the two files I've downloaded, in this case from Google Scholar. I'll double click the first one and it automatically adds it into EndNote in imported references. You'll notice we see a summary of this reference. Over on this side under PDF, you can find the PDF to attach it. Nice and easy, so in the future you don't have to search for it again. You can attach it if you've already downloaded it. You can see a summary of this entry, the citation. You can even edit the citation if it's really necessary. Usually isn't. Importantly, we have the concept of groups, which I tend to use a lot. We have parent and child groups, a parent-child relationship. So you could do it by subject. So for this subject, you could have multiple groups underneath, assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, module 1, module 2, etc. And you could have it for your other subject and your other subject and so on. And one reference can be added to multiple groups. So a group is just a view. So let me show you. I'll add, let's say this is a subject called NUR123. I'll add what we call a parent or a parent group or group set, and then I'll add subgroups underneath. So I'll alternate click on my groups, and a group set is the parent. So I'll click add group set, and then I can just name it. So let me just call it NUR123. I'm just pretending that's my subject name. And let's add some folders underneath so I can keep it nicely ordered, which references I've used for which modules, which assessments, and so on. Again, I'll alternate click on the name and click create group. And in this case, I'll call it assessment 1. And let's just create another folder to show I can. I'll click create group and let's call this assessment 2, for example, and on we can go. Again, I'll click on all references again. So let's say I want to store this under assessment 1. I'll just drag and drop it across. I could also drag and drop it to multiple groups if I really wanted to. And at any time I can click all references to view all my references. Of course, we still have another reference we now need to add. So let's go to those files I downloaded from Google Scholar, and I'll double click the second one. And it's loaded up, and now I'll just drag and drop into assessment 1, for example. Nice and easy. So let me click assessment 1, and you'll see all those that I've now added or dragged and dropped into assessment 1 are available. Right, let's go across to Word. So let's say, for example, we want to add some text and then cite where we learned that information. So nursing is a growing profession. There are various ways of doing this, but the one way I can do is I can go into EndNote. Sorry, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit because I need to tell you something here. So on this ribbon for EndNote, and if you don't see that ribbon, ask your university if they can add the ribbon for you into Word. You will see the various things you can do in EndNote. Just make sure that style has the style, the referencing style you need to include. So in this case, I'm using Sage Harvard or Harvard. I could change it to APA 7th, for example. So I want to add the citation here. All I do is I go into EndNote, find that citation or reference I want to include, and then click the little exclamation mark. There we go. Now I can add a heading here called references, for example. I'll just bold this just to show that it's a heading. Okay, nursing is a growing profession. Now let's say I want to quote something directly from a different paper. I could do this. I could go I could go something like stated that nursing is an awesome job. Okay, we'd probably use double quotes there, but anyway, so I'll just make this a small s. So we're wanting to put in here where we learned that work and the page number. So let's go back in here and let's say it was this one, this work. Again, we would just click the insert a citation. So they stated that nursing is an awesome job. The formatting isn't correct here. We need to change the formatting because we're doing a direct quote. Also, because we're doing a direct quote, we want to include the page number. So all we need to do here is click on EndNote, click on Edit and Manage Citation. Change the formatting to be author year and whatever page that comes from. So for example, 207. Let's say it was on page 207. Click OK. And you'll notice it's immediately correct according to Sage Harvard. That's how easy it is to use EndNote. Let me just show what happens. If we change it to APA 7th, for example, you'll notice that immediately it's changed to comply with APA 7th. So really easy to get your referencing and your citations correct. And here, all your references are automatically added for you correctly in alphabetical order as it's needed. But thank you for joining me and please like this video.